Hey y'all, welcome to the Behind the Bench Sports Network. This is the Kobe Bryant Film Room, man. And man, I was just sitting back thinking, bro. I was just sitting back thinking, bro. This shit, like sometimes this shit gives you a headache, man. Um, Basketball's a beautiful sport, but it just gives you a damn headache sometimes, man. And the reason why I'm doing this video today is I want to talk to you guys about basketball vegetables, right? Now you might ask, well, what does basketball and vegetables have to do with one another, right? Basketball and vegetables have a lot to do with one another, right? Well, let's go over a definition of a vegetable, right? Vegetable, where we consider somebody in a coma, right? Just brain dead, no brain activity, right? No independent thought, no spark of thought. There's nothing there. It's just a body. You know what I'm saying? And I realized that the NBA and the media, you know, they've been catering to the vegetables for a long time, right? People who just mindlessly buy and spend money on a product, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with enjoying your favorite team or favorite player or anything like that. But if you're going to engage in intellectual discourse about basketball, you would think that these individuals would educate themselves on the history of the game. No, no, they won't. There's they come and they talk shit, right? Don't watch any of the past former players' games, right? Give a description of that player based on numbers without context, right? You guys will find yourself debating these vegetables, right? And we should start calling them that shit from now on. Debating these vegetables, right? Um, on a game that they didn't watch, right? And it'll be an intense debate, right? And they'll read a whole stat sheet. It's the most uninformative shit ever, right? Which is why I don't engage in debate. I don't engage in debate. Uh, not out of fear of losing. You can't really lose a debate. Even if you're wrong, you could still kind of win the debate. Niggas do it all the time, right? It's not that. It's become a intellectual jack off session, right? Uh, Guys have learned. The casual fan has learned to master the game of uh how should I say this? They mastered the game of just intellectual uh dishonesty, right? They know how to argue what they know how to argue, and they find manipulation tactics in order to win arguments instead of being genuine, right? Instead of being genuine and being honest, um, what they do is they manipulate the facts in order to create a reality that they want, and anybody can do that, right? Anybody can do that. Anybody can make up shit, right? You've learned how to intellectualize bullshit from watching these sports networks, right? Um, you know, you're arguing with somebody who watches Shannon Sharp every day, right? Who watches Stephen A. Smith. So all they know how to do is talk over you and get loud and really say a whole bunch of nothing, right? Oh, that brother was sensational. Like, what does that mean? Like, break down the game. You know what I'm saying? All this hyperbole and all this extra shit. Uh, I could tell, when somebody knows basketball and somebody's really talking basketball from knowledge, right? From playing the game, experience in the game, from being around the game, right? From studying the game, the history of the game. And we might have our disagreements on who the best is, or that's what sports is about, right? But this whole GOAT conversation, right? It just let it's a conversation really for casual basketball fans to argue all day, to go back and forth, to yell and scream. It's like, dude, you're yelling and screaming over a fucking opinion. You realize, like, you can't judge somebody's opinion. Like, you really can't base it off anything because it's like, if that's what the nigga think, that's what the nigga think. Again, who are you? What's your opinion mean to me? Your opinion doesn't mean a damn thing. If you believe Kobe's top five, if you believe Kobe's not even top 20, that's your opinion and you're a nobody, right? You haven't done anything significant in the basketball world. You know what I'm saying? To outweigh everybody else's opinion, right? And so you think about these sports networks, it's just 100% propaganda. All these writers, it's 100% propaganda. And now you have niggas going to Chat GPT trying to make arguments. And it's like, dude, Chat GPT has been wrong. I've caught them several times giving out wrong information based on websites, right? That give out wrong information. So basically, you got a robot, you got an AI that sometimes they're accurate, but sometimes they're not. Sometimes they repeat bad information. But you got these guys who will literally go up there. It's just mindless. We're having arguments based on falsehoods because somebody wrote an article. Well, what about the game? Let's go into the game. You know, like let's break it down. You know what I mean? And so this back and forth, going over the same shit over and over again, the same argument for 10 years. Like, bro, don't y'all want to get into the deep nuances of the game? Casual fans don't care nothing about the rhythm. They don't care nothing about confidence. They don't care nothing about playing time. They don't care nothing about experience. They don't care nothing about how to construct a roster. All they want to see is somebody dribble the air out of the ball and make a shot. They don't give a damn how they do it. They don't even understand the process, right, of winning. They really don't. You know, you'll have a conversation with them and you'll say, well, damn, didn't we do that same shit last year? I'm talking about Laker fans. Didn't we do that same shit last year? Why would we go through that same process again? We did the same shit for the last 6 years. Why would we go through that again? And it doesn't work. The casual fan is a damn vegetable, bro. Their mind doesn't think outside of what they're told. Because somebody said it, they run with it. You know, there's no question. There's no questions. It's just you could. Nobody guards themselves from bad information nowadays, right? They'll go watch a podcast and say, "Damn, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true." Even though there's video footage showing the contrary, right? And let me say something about some of these NBA players, right? Some of these former NBA players who have pretty much sold themselves out for money, for friendship, for the relationships with somebody. They're contributing to the basketball vegetable, right? The basketball vegetable just listens to what the experts say. Now, I ain't gonna get too deep into this, right? But a lot of people die at hospitals from listening to experts, right? That's why you get a second opinion, a third opinion from a doctor, right? That's the whole point. You just don't go off of one person's opinion, bro. Because even though you are a professional at your craft, you could still be wrong. You could still be categorically wrong. Anybody could. You take somebody's word as gospel, you know, and and all of us can have an opinion, right? All of us can have an educated opinion. You know what I'm saying? But this stuff is ridiculous, man. It's getting to the point where just 2 hour. It'd be a 2 hour debate, and the debate is based off dumb shit. It's based on faulty logic, and the moderators don't do anything to stop niggas from lying. So it's like, who wants to have a disingenuous conversation with somebody, bro? Like, if I know you're lying, I'm not gonna want to talk to you. Like, what's the purpose, bro? What's the purpose of having a conversation with people who are disingenuous, people who have an agenda, right? Your love should be for the game of basketball. And if you don't love the history of basketball, honestly, you shouldn't be discussing it because you haven't studied it enough. I find out new information every day. That's why I like watching the Sporting Page. Shout out to the Sporting Page. Y'all like and subscribe to his content. The Sporting Page goes through the history of every single sport. Great content. He celebrates all players, right? But we can't do that because the basketball vegetable only knows how to debate one way. They don't know any other way. There's some basketball vegetables out here who realize how to make money, right? They realize how to make money. So what do? They need this narrative of a certain individual because that's their bread and butter, and they're not going to back off that narrative because it makes them money. That's how they pay their bills. And I ain't mad at you paying your bills. We all got bills, but I'm not about to sell out in order to pay my bills, bro. I'm good. I'm in a good spot, bro. I'm in a good spot, bro. If you have to kiss a man's ass in order to make it, then you shouldn't want that success, bro. That's just me as a man. That's just me. You know what I mean? And so integrity, the integrity of the game is gone. And I think that's one reason why Michael Jordan is coming back. I think Michael is coming back to restore the integrity of the game. Also to encourage these young players to be great, to strive for greatness, to reach the pinnacle of success. You have to work hard, right? The passion, the love for the game, to bring those elements back and provide accurate commentary on their games. You have a whole bunch of yes men around you and a whole bunch of enablers, you're never going to get better, bro. Everybody's just going to talk about how great you are, and you have massive flaws in your game. So I'm glad that Michael Jordan is coming back to do commentary because he's needed. He's needed. Michael Jordan is desperately needed right now for the sake of the game. And it's nothing to do with nostalgia or get, nothing to do with any of that shit, bro. It's just he loved the game. He got a man right here who played for the passion of the game and played hard every single night. No plays off mentality, right? Did he make mistakes on the court? Yeah, but he got better. It was the willingness to grind and work on his craft. And if you don't respect that as a man, bro, honestly, I don't even want to talk to you about basketball, bro, because it's about manhood at this point, bro. When niggas grind, especially with Kobe, bro, when niggas grind and niggas work hard, bro, and cats is out here giving it their all and putting in everything, playing through injuries, you know what I'm saying, trying to play as many games as possible, making no excuses. A lot of times you didn't know he was hurt. And you down that man, especially when he's reached heights that shit 99% of players never reached. You a clown. I can't talk to you, bro. You a vegetable, bro. You a feminine vegetable, right? And so these brain dead basketball fans who are coming into the game, and a lot of them are grifters. I see a couple of I know Angry Old Hoops mentioned this. I was watching this live, and it's true. I was gonna say the same shit. You see some of these individuals who were LeBron fans capitalizing off of his failures, and now they're making videos talking about, oh well, is Michael Jordan the true GOAT? What about Kobe? And it's like, dude, like you're sitting here reacting off highlights. No, I mean, you're sitting here reacting off highlights on who is the best. You're not gonna watch complete games. And don't get me wrong, I like it when people appreciate Kobe's game, but I don't want you to become a Kobe Bryant fan because of highlights. Go back and watch the full games. Watching the full games of players and going back and watching, you can see the growth in their game throughout time, throughout their career. That's the beautiful part players have in a career. So the average casual fan is just up and down with their analysis. You know, they're just up and down. And so I respect people who have a difference of opinion than I do, right? I really do. But make sure you have a educated opinion, bro. Make sure you're just not speaking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you know the game, bro. Because if I talk to you about, rhythm and effort and all the things that are not going to show up on the stat sheet, right? And you come back with that doesn't exist. Like I had a conversation with a vegetable about will, how you can will your team to win. It was like, will doesn't exist. What do you mean will doesn't exist? Will doesn't exist in basketball. Clutch. I had a fool tell me being clutch doesn't exist. Why? Because they don't think their favorite player is clutch. So just erase it in general. Just erase the whole category in general. I said, dude, we just watched Halliburton hit a shot to win the game. That's clutch. Showing up in the fourth quarter is clutch. Clutch time is not just reduced to a one shot. Clutch is the game, the fourth quarter, right? The last 5 minutes. What do you do? Or the last 2 minutes. What do you do? What do you do in that situation? You can be clutch on defense, right? And you can be clutch on offense. You can make plays. You do what the team needs you to do. Oh man, he had 30-point triple double. Yeah, but fool. The most of the points were in the first half. He had 25 at the half. He didn't score in the second half. Did you watch the game? This doesn't make any sense. And you sound like a damn fool. Right? So basketball is suffering, man, because I think the NBA has the worst fan base. And it's on purpose. All of the other fan bases, they're educated. They respect their legends. They keep their legends around the game, and their legends give back. And their legends are honored. In basketball, we destroy our legends, right? We destroy our legends. We don't want to listen to them when they give advice. Instead, we want the younger generation to just do whatever the fuck they want without repercussions. And when we have to watch all-star games where guys ain't competitive, they expect us to be quiet, even though we're paying to watch it. Even though they want you to pay tickets to the game, they don't want you to complain about the game if you buy tickets and critique the game, critiquing to get better. Shit, if your wife cooks you something and you don't like the way she made it, but you're not allowed to give her advice. So, hey, babe, I don't like. Next time, can you leave the broccoli out of this? I don't like broccoli. Can you leave the broccoli out of the rice? I don't like broccoli. And then she continues to fix you the plate full of broccoli. You're gonna get fucking pissed off. You know what I mean? This doesn't make any sense. When does the customer never get the right to critique the business? And it doesn't mean you hate the business. And see, what vegetables do is they go to the extreme. They say, Oh, well, you hate the business. No, we don't hate the business. We just wondering why they added fucking sausage in our rice, and we weren't getting this before. We don't like this. So what made us come to the restaurant? You're just turning us off, and we're just gonna go to another restaurant. But we don't want to leave. We just want you to take the fucking sausage out of the rice. Why is this here? You know what I mean? So, but anyways, the basketball vegetable man, they don't think, they don't adjust, they don't have reasoning skills. There's no logic, right? There's no new information coming out. There's no studying of history, the game, whatever. And I hate. And listen, I don't want to call people names, but at a certain point, you got to label these people, bro. You're a vegetable. You don't think for yourself. You just lay in a chair with the TV on, waiting on a nurse to feed you applesauce. You're just dead. There's nothing you can do with this individual, bro. It's Down syndrome. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to people who have Down syndrome, but it's just you just there's nothing there, bro. No brain activity whatsoever. There's a flat line across the board. You know, there's a big bowl of cereal left on the table that's soggy. You know what I'm saying? It's just this person's just leaning back, accepting all the information that comes from the corporate media. And it's sad, man. Basketball fans used to critically think and problem solve. That's gone. That's completely gone. But there's something we could do about it. As real basketball fans, as real historians of the game, we have to continue to teach. And we have to stop having conversations with these people because we're validating them. Because when you see when the casual fan sees an educated fan arguing with a dumbass, you know, the dumbass is able to a bullshit artist is able to create an argument out of everything, right? You could be wrong and make an argument. And see, that's what a lot of guys master. They mastered the art of crowd control. They know how to cater to a certain audience. So so the thing is, right? Like anybody who's arguing, hey, Michael Jordan couldn't go left, right? Like how did how did he win all these championships not being able to go left? And if he did, isn't that more impressive? I don't get what you're trying to say. Or man, Kobe was a selfish ball hog. He was a selfish ball hog who didn't pass, and he's got 5 championships. Don't that make him the GOAT? No, 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 because he got carried. I'm like, yo, but you don't make any sense, bro. You're speaking from a lot of emotion, nigga. You're speaking from a lot of emotion and hurt and pain. There's a lot of hurt and pain, bro. Like I tell people, you can't type Michael Jordan's legacy away. You can't type Kobe's legacy away online. You can type paragraph to paragraph. You know what I'm saying? You can write a book. You know what I'm saying? You could do a 12-hour live stream. Their legacy is their legacy. The product is the product. You know what I'm saying? Their work ethic is their work ethic. Their grind is their grind. You can't take nothing away. We got the footage, bro. Film kills everything. Film will continue to kill everything. And you can kick, you can scream, you can hide under your covers. You know, you can bite your pillow. You know, but it is what it is, bro. It is what it is, man. And so, but I just had to get that off my chest, man. I just had to get that off my chest because it's just the amount of conversations, even like certain live streams I'll tune into, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? You guys ever stumble on a debate between two niggas and be like, what the fuck is this? They're both stupid. How is this possible? You would think out of the two people, one would be smart. Like one would make a smart argument. No, they're both dumb. And so I can't do it. I can't do it, man. I can't. I can't. I just can't. You know. So is it a society getting dumber, right? As the more time goes on, people devolving. But anyways, y'all, this is the Kobe Bryant Film Room, man. Shout out to Rashad, JB, Kelvin, and Big Dog Talk Sports, man. It's just food for thought, man. Uh, these dudes is clowns, man. But anyways, peace.